Check. There's 3 levels to this flexibility, all right? 3 levels, all right? There's individuals who are flexible, semi-flexible, and not flexible at all. There's a little kid who came home one day from school, and he told his pops, listen, I am not going back to school, Dad. I'm telling you, I'm not going back to school. Dad was like, why ain't you going to school, bro? You gotta go back to school. Like, what's going on? I was like, Dad, listen, I went to school today and the kids kept messing with me. I didn't do all that good in my classes. You know, I'm really not feeling going back to school, Dad. So his dad said, hold on. Before you make a decision, all right? Before you make a decision, this is what I want you to do. Go in the kitchen, give me a cup of rice, all right? Get me 2 eggs and give me a cup of coffee, okay? Before you make a decision, just do that, okay? So, when the kid came back in with all the requirements that the father asked him to, he said, listen, son, okay, what you experienced today is the same thing that each one of these ingredients is going to experience when they touch this water, all right? So what was going to happen if we put the rice in the water? Son said it's going to go in hard, come out soft. He said, cool. Said, what's going to happen when we put the egg in the water? Son said, it's going to go in kind of hard, but if we crack it, it's going to spill, so it's going to come out hard. He said, yeah. He says, now, do you know what's going to happen when you put that coffee in there? And the son was like, well, it's going to turn into coffee. He said, exactly. He said, when the water touches the coffee gets better. When it touches the rice gets softer. When it touches the egg gets harder. So I guess my question to everybody is on the flexibility scale, right? Do you want to be the rice? Do you want to be the egg? Or do you want to be coffee? All right? And there are some people who think that, you know, adjusting to life is flexible. And that's not flexibility. That's just adjusting to life. So if something happens in the course of your day and you have to change your schedule around so that way you can make sure that all those things fit, that's not really flexibility. That's living. That's all that is. And more specifically how it relates to personal training, fitness, wellness, you know, all those things. The truth of the matter is that people are not necessarily being flexible with their inflexibility. It sounds like some psychobabble stuff, but think about what I'm saying. People are not being flexible with their inflexibility. They're not being flexible with their absolutes. Some things you can be flexible with, and there's some things that you can't. And there's some things that you can be flexible with, but then you have to be flexible with the fact that you're being flexible with that. Psychobabble stuff, right? But think about what I just said. So how do I explain that, right? How do I explain that people are not flexible with their inflexibility, right? It's very simple. So sometimes, you know, you'll tell somebody you're going to do something for them, and then you realize in the process that they're trying to hustle you. So you renege on your word. What you have to do at that part is you have to realize that you are willing to renege on your word. There are a lot of people who will justify and say, you know what, it makes sense that you renege on your word based on the full picture. But then there are other individuals that say, well, you know what, if that's what you said you were going to do, you should have done it regardless of what the individual did. Don't worry about what side of the scale you're on. You just got to be willing to be flexible with the fact that you were flexible with your own word. There are individuals who have experienced fitness and wellness and had a negative response because of that, and they've either gotten softer or they've gotten harder, all right? It is those individuals who experience fitness, wellness, and to be honest with you, all aspects of life, and they look at it as if they're coffee. They're coffee beans. They understand that, you know, there's nothing really you could do with coffee beans at first, but once it goes through something, it becomes better. And that's really what fitness is to me. That is what, you know, a lot of life goals are for me, is understanding that you have to be flexible enough to go through something and come out on the other end better. All right, you're going to have some scars, you're going to have some bumps, you're going to have some bruises, but you should come out on the other end better. A lot of individuals are not experiencing or actually facilitating their flex gene, if they will, or their flex muscle, if they will, because they are so fearful of the scars. They're so fearful of the hurt and the pain and the turmoil, and they don't realize that, you know, when you go through those hurts and those pains, that the turmoil that you have longevity wise isn't there. You know what I mean? So no one understands that it's just a matter of you thinking outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? Stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing flexibility in a way that is going to make sure that you are better on the other end. Okay?